And we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Saving Money Unapologetically with your host, PG. That is me. It is Saving Saturday, y'all. Saving Saturday. And we've got some important things that we're going to be discussing in the next few uh, podcasts and videos that I have coming out. We have to discuss some things. It is very important, and to all of my loyal subscribers and to all of the folks that happen in every now and again that tunes in for pertinent information about specific topics like saving money and anything that has to do with rising cost or lowering cost, that is where I come in. Saving money unapologetically with your host, PG. That is me, y'all. And by the title, I'm going to cut to the chase. OTC means over the counter, medications, and tariffs. The letters OTC stands for over the counter. Meds and tariffs. As you very well know, if you are anybody that is going about your way on a daily, and even if you do not normally listen to the news or the radio or what have you, I'm sure that someone has mentioned or you have heard something or read something or there was an ad for something that has to do with tariffs. Tariffs are taxes that the consumer, us that are out in the community, will pay for. That is what it is. To make it short and skinny, quick and dirty, straight to the point, a tariff is a tax that the consumer who purchases those items or item will pay upfront in order to obtain said item. Now, while tariffs basically have been explicitly mentioned as directly implementing an impact on over-the-counter medications, I want to let you know in that regards, there comes a broader concern, folks. There's a broader concern about the potential effects on the consumer when it comes to tariffs on the pharmaceutical industry. Okay? And the pharmaceutical industry in itself, such as pharmacies, small drugstore chains, small individually owned and operated pharmacies, and our drugstores, this will definitely affect those businesses, and it will definitely affect the consumers that do business at those particular entities. Definitely, this will include both prescription drugs and medications and over-the-counter drugs and medications. Specifically, tariffs could impact the cost or will perhaps impact the cost. And please keep in mind, folks, the availability of generic drugs and even name brand prescription drugs and or name brand over-the-counter drugs and or medication. This especially will represent a large volume of over-the-counter medications because we know that a lot of over-the-counter medications, especially the generic brands such as the Kroger brand acetaminophen, the Kroger brand cough syrup, the Kroger brand aspirin, the CVS brand acetaminophen, the CVS brand aspirin, the CVS brand cough medicine, the CVS brand Motrin, the CVS brand whatever, will represent a large portion of the pharmaceutical industry. A lot of the generic medications, even the formularies or even certain ingredients that are put in to compound the meds or to manufacture the medication, single ingredients or inner ingredients come from overseas, whether it be China, whether it be India, whether it be Africa, whether it be Canada. These particular things that formulate the actual medication itself, even though some of it is produced. The last step of the way is production wise is produced here in the United States of America. Certain components that go into making the medication or that particular drug component comes from overseas: China, Japan, Asia. It is going to affect us in more ways than one. A lot of people, that's why I'm coming on here today, so that I can get the word out to the masses that please, please, please take a look at what you have on hand. Please do a quick inventory of the actual prescribed medications that you need to sustain your life, that you need to treat certain medical conditions that you know that you cannot run the risk of running out. See if you have refills available. Please make appointments at your nearest doctor's office, your urgent care facilities, wherever you get this medication from, the mail order pharmacies and what have you. Make certain that you have on hand and you are up to date on your medication refills. Some people use over-the-counter medications on a daily. Every now and again, you may have a migraine headache. People like to use Excedrin for migraine headaches. Some people may take a Motrin here or there, or an Aleve to help, or ibuprofen to alleviate inflammation in the joints or whatever. On occasion, they go to Kroger's, they may go to King Soopers, they may go to Myers, they may go to wherever. Target, they may go to Walmart, they may go to Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, whoever. They pick this up. You guys and gals, boys and girls, y'all pick up these different things. A lot of it is sold over the counter, meaning you can walk into down that aisle in that particular retail establishment and choose which one you want to buy. You may buy it. It may come in say acetaminophen may come in a 50 count capsule, or it may be a 50 count tablet form, or you may pick it up at your local convenience store, a 7-Eleven, a Circle K. You may go down to, let's say, a Quick Trip or the Exxon gas station, or whatever it is you need. Please keep in mind that there may be short supplies of certain things moving forward in the coming months. So if you know that you use certain things, certain items, folks, it would behoove you to make certain that you are getting yourself an ample supply. We don't know what the next 3 months will hold. We don't know how the supply chain may break, may become more affected. We don't know how long it may take to replenish certain things on the retailer's shelves. Whether or not those retailers are going to slim down their product line because certain things may be so costly to them that they can't afford to have it shipped here. We don't know this for certain. So it would behoove you to go out, and I'm not saying panic buy, but go out and shore up your supplies. Make sure you're calling your pharmacies. Make sure that they have certain medications. If you know in the next 2 weeks you're going to be refilling your diabetes medication, your blood pressure medication, your cholesterol medication, your vitamins, your whatever it is, your heart medication, whatever it is. Make sure you are in touch with your pharmacies. Make sure you're in touch with perhaps your mail order pharmacies as well. If you're getting medications from them and you're relying on that to come every 90 days, or you're relying on that to be shipped to you every 30 days or every 45 days or every 60 days, you get your insulin every 45 days or whatever. Make certain that you are reaching out. I'm not saying you got to panic and get your dander up or get your blood pressure sky high. I'm just putting it out here to alert you, to let you know this is a public service announcement. For anyone who happens to fall in and look at my channel anyone that might happen by, depending on the YouTube algorithm for the day or whatever this video, vlog, podcast, whatever you may want to call it. If you should see it while you may be listening to it right now, please make a list. Check your pantries, check your medicine cabinets for these certain over-the-counter medications that you know you and or your family in your household. Say, for instance, you have grandchildren. Every now and again, they have nasal congestion. Every now and again, they may get a cough or a cold. They may need certain little things that you may want to buy. Children's only Tylenol, children's Bayer aspirin, children's whatever. Uh, you know, get you a box of it, get you a bottle of it, get you a jar of it, whatever it is that you may need that your budget will allow for. Please make sure that you are stocking up. One word of caution. Please try to find the longest expiration dates on these products when you're purchasing them for long-term storage. I mean long-term such as 12 months or 24 months. You know, long-term storage. You want to find the longest expiration date that you possibly can. I mean, that's fair. If you're going to purchase it and try to put it up for safekeeping for a future use, then you don't want it to expire in June and we're already in May. That's all I'm saying. Now, I want to get a little bit more detail, folks. This is going to be a little bit of a lengthy video, podcast, or whatever you want to call it, but I want to get a little bit more detail and the impact that these tariffs can possibly have. We know that prices are going to rise, yes. But what some people fail to realize is inventory. Short supplies. Remember back 4 or 5 years ago, we had a short supply of certain products. Things were running short. So before it gets to that, that's what I'm saying, is to take a small inventory of what you have and go out to the Dollar Tree, the Dollar General, the Walmart, wherever you do your shopping. And also, if that's crowded or if you notice that there's been a run on certain things, try to think about places that still carry those items, such as grocery stores or small individually owned and operated grocery stores. Sometimes those small chains will have an aisle that will have certain over-the-counter medications. It may be an off-brand, but it's still doable and it still will work for you. Try to think outside of the box when you're trying to find certain items, and there may be a heavy run on the Target. There may be a heavy run on Walmart. There may be a heavy run on the neighborhood Walgreens. Go to your Dollar Generals, go to your Dollar Trees, go to your Family Dollar stores, go to your individually owned and operated grocery stores or food stores. You know, even go to some of your bin stores that sell things that come from Amazon. You'll be surprised sometimes what you will find at a discounted price before the prices rise, because not every retailer is going to be above board. What I mean by that, not every retailer is going to take into consideration all of that inventory that they already have. They will have their worker bees, or if it is on a point of sale system and those tags are generic tags and they can change the price at the spur of the moment, they are going to. Yes, they will, because they're not worried or concerned about you, the individual that comes into their establishment and shops. They're concerned about their bottom line, and they're going to get all they can while they can before they have to perhaps close their doors. Certain stores will perhaps go out of business. People will lose their jobs. Truck drivers, dock workers, stock clerks, you name it. People will become unemployed more and more and more. Just last week, UPS, United Parcel Services, announced that within the coming year, meaning this year as well, they will perhaps lay off as many as 20,000 employees. That's a lot of people that will become unemployed in different areas, regions of the country, meaning they will not be able to contribute to the economy in your geographical area. Even just the mere threat of tariffs, certain drug companies, like I said before, and I'm going to say it again, will incentivize price changes. They're not going to go lower in cost. They're going to go up. So make sure, if you're an HIV positive or AIDS patient or whatever, cancer patients, certain medications you may not be able to get, or it may be in short supply because it is not some of the components to manufacture the medication, even though here in the States are needed from other countries. That particular component or components may not be readily available. It may take even longer. So even ask for a courtesy refill, or ask for maybe a half a month supply, so that you may have something on hand to tide you over in the event this happens. There's going to be mixed effects in the supply, and of course in the cost of the medications moving forward, y'all. It is unclear right now on the specifics, effects on the supply chain and the cost of the medications. It is certain that some effects will be seen. Okay? How does that affect your wallet, your purse, your pocketbook? I don't know. I can't tell you. But what I can tell you right now on May the 3rd of 2025 is to try to shore up whatever it is that you think you may need going forward for the next year or so, or the next 2 years. Try to get it. That's all I'm saying. If it's not in your budget, hey, plan for it. If you get paid on a weekly, if you can spare an extra $5, go to the Dollar Tree. The Dollar Tree is not the Dollar Tree anymore. It's the 6 or 7 or 8 quarter store. I don't know what in the hell it is. It's still called Dollar Tree, but it's a dollar plus. I'm going to say it like that. It's a dollar plus. It might be $1.50, $1.75, $2.25, $3, $4, $5, $7. Hell, I don't know, depending on what it is you buying out of there. But some of the items are still $1.25 and $1.50 and $1.75, under $2. Say, you got a couple of small kids or school-aged children. They come home often with a cough or a runny nose or something, and you don't have the money to go to the doctor, but for certain perhaps it's a cold or something, or they maybe have a little scratchy throat, and you want to try to ward that off. Have something on hand, a little bit of cough syrup. It will go a long way. No, it may not be the Robitussin brand. It may be Walgreens brand, or the Walls Supply brand, or the Equate brand, that's Walmart, or the Kroger brand. I don't know. But all I'm saying, folks, is I'm doing my due diligence to put it out here. Take $5 out. You can spare $5 or $7. Take a couple dollars out of the $5 or $7 and go over there to the nearest Dollar General or the Walgreens or the Rite Aid, or wherever you can get it as cheap as you need it to be, and purchase you 1 or 2 of those items. Then with the rest of the money, say you're going to take out $7 every week and try to shore up, then Kroger, somebody may be running a sale on toothpaste. Buy you another extra thing of toothpaste. You got one in the linen closet, or you got one in your bathroom linen closet already, then you have 2. Toothpaste has a long expiration date. Okay, that's how you're not overbuying or panic buying, but you're buying and putting back for those rainy days. That's definitely coming to a place near you, or to your house, or to your neighborhood, or to your city, town, and our state. That's how you do that. So I hope that this has been somewhat helpful to you, to let you know that certain things that a lot of people haven't considered, they're horning in and focused on how much electronics are going to cost, but the everyday items, some of the items that we use on a daily or a monthly basis or every few months, when the kids come down with a cough or cold, or you come down with maybe a headache every 6 months or a year or something, and you want to go into your medicine cabinet and take a Tylenol or take some Motrin or take some Excedrin, and you don't have it, and you go over there to the nearest Walmart and find out that that's $15 for the generic brand when you could have gotten it, in the next week or so for $5 or $3 or whatever, then certainly by all means you want to pick it up now while you can. Don't forget about your elderly neighbors. Don't forget about people who are sick and shut in. Don't forget about your grandparents, mom and dads, sisters and brothers, nieces and nephews when you're purchasing. A lot of you can do some group buying or group purchasing. Somebody in the family has a Sam's card, or maybe 2 people out of a 10 family, close-knit family, somebody may have a BJ's card, somebody has a Costco card, and somebody has a Sam's Club card. Well, put some money together and y'all split those packages, split those boxes of things that that the family is going to need, or certain people within your family will need. Those are just some ideas that I'm throwing out, because this is Saving Money Unapologetically with your host, PG, that is me. I'm just throwing out some ideas of things that we all can do to try to hold ourselves up during this crisis that we are in. And it is definitely not just a constitutional crisis, but this is an economic crisis that we are going into. And how long it's going to last, I have no idea. But this is not looking good, I can tell you that. Not at all, folks. Not at all. So again, this podcast was on over-the-counter medications and the effects that the tariffs will have. I am going to further break some things down here shortly. I was going to probably do a two-part podcast or a two-part vlog or video, but I may not. It's just going to depend, I kind of want to do a summary and get into percentages and a few more details about medications or the effects that the supply chain may have on the local businesses in your area, because what is in my area may not necessarily be in your area. We have different stores all across the country, and we shop differently depending on the household and depending on the amount of people that's in your household. If it's just a family of one, then all you have to worry about is you. When you eat, everybody is eating. When you take your medication, everybody has received the medication. So what's going to look one way for me may not look the same for you. So I'm just basically trying to give out some generic tips and helpful hints to move you forward in the direction of at least taking a valid inventory of what you have on hand, whether or not you need to go and get some refills that may already be in the queue to be refilled on your medications. And if you take over-the-counter medications or vitamins or whatever, or particular things or supplements that that you need, then you may want to go ahead on and purchase those. If you have a half a bottle and you normally only purchase them once a month, then maybe go on and get another bottle, to have on hand, because you don't know what June is going to look like. You don't know what July is going to look like. We're not there yet. Again, I'm going to reiterate a few things, and I'm going to try to keep this short. I'm going to try to do 35 to 40 minutes. We're at the 24-minute mark right now, and it's getting a little long, and I know people's attention span can be short these days. But most of the times, the facilities here in the United States, the drug facilities or the drug manufacturers in the U.S., there's about 13% of them that are located in China. There are other entities as well. They are located in other parts of the country and other foreign countries. The ingredients, again, we kind of brushed on earlier. in this podcast, I want to make certain that I let you know that many of the drug ingredients are manufactured abroad or overseas. For instance, ibuprofen and acetaminophen. All those two drugs, folks, especially acetaminophen, they not only show up just as ibuprofen or acetaminophen that we know as Tylenol, but they show up in a variety of other medications as well. Tylenol or acetaminophen, which is the active ingredient in Tylenol, is found. I'm going to give you a little bit of a fact, and you can check. It may be, I'm not going to give you an exact number, but it is at least, it's found in at least 600 plus medications. Acetaminophen. The brand name that we know is Tylenol. But Tylenol is not the actual ingredient of the medication. It is acetaminophen. But 600 plus medications include acetaminophen. And I'm not sure how many medications have a form of ibuprofen in them, but there's a lot. Even Alka-Seltzer products, NyQuil, and Excedrin. Did you know that ibuprofen is in Advil and Motrin? Yes, it is. So when we talk about formularies and when we talk about pharmaceuticals and we talk about drug manufacturers that manufacture these drugs, and you may turn your bottle over, or you may go run into there in your kitchen, or you may run into your bathroom into the medicine cabinet and look to see, oh, it says it was made in Canada. Okay, there's tariffs. Oh, mine says it's made in China. Okay. Oh, mine says it's got two countries. It's got Mexico and the United States. Some of the parts of the medication to form the whole part of the medication came from Mexico, and is perhaps put together and formulated here in the States. Tariffs are in place. Okay? Yes. I just got somebody who says, well, should I stock up now on the medications? Yes. Because there will be some price hikes, and there will be an uncertainty of whether or not you will be able to get certain things going forward. Generic medications, generic prescription medications, and store brand supplements, such as vitamins and zinc tablets and vitamin D3, thiamine, vitamin B1, let's say vitamin B12, sublingual, under the tongue, meaning it dissolves fast. Certain things that you may get generically. It may not be nature's nature's brownie, or it may not be, let's just say, that's the only one that comes to mind right now, because I got a lot on my mind and I'm looking at my notes, and I'm also calling from memory what I wanted to discuss. But certain things, certain items and certain ingredients may be harder hit than others. I don't know. I can't tell you that. PG's not going to lie to you. Before I lie to you, I'm not going to address it at all until I have further information. But what I do have is the information that I am letting you know about right here and now. You know, certain manufacturers, if they're a small manufacturing company, y'all, keep in mind that they won't be able to quickly shift production to alternative suppliers. It's just that simple. It may cost them even more. Temporary stockouts, temporary outages may occur. I'm not saying that it certainly will, but I'm saying that it's uncertain whether or not we will have certain things on the shelf moving forward. It is very uncertain. So if something is uncertain and you're unsure, it's better to be safe than to be sorry. And if you have a few extra dollars, put those few extra dollars towards purchasing some of the items that you know that you use on a very regular basis, especially if it's not going to put a big, huge dent into your budget that you need to budget for, such as for your lights, your water, your electricity, your gas that you have to use to power your vehicles or what have you, your child's tuition or your tuition if you're a student yourself or whatever, or your food. But what I am saying, if you have a few dollars to spare every week or bi-weekly, put those dollars to good use by purchasing, investing in your household and purchasing the things that you know that you use while you can still get them, while you can still afford them, and while they are still in ample supply. You know, me, myself, I rarely take Tylenol. I have some Tylenol that is unopened, but it does expire December of 2025. Will I purchase another small bottle? Yes, I certainly will. I will at least purchase a 50 count. You never know. That will last me at least another year or two. So I will be good on that. I cannot take ibuprofen, so I am not going to purchase ibuprofen. If I am in a store such as Dollar Tree or maybe Dollar General or Family Dollar, and I see some ibuprofen that's generic or what have you, and it has a long expiration and it's under $2 or $3, then I will purchase it just to have it on hand. If a neighbor needs some or what have you, you never know, I will have some to help someone else in need. Children, if you have children and grandchildren, nieces and nephews that are small or what have you, teenagers, you might want to get stocked up. But definitely, folks, moving forward, make sure you are looking at those expiration dates. Even the items that you have on hand right now in your medicine cabinets and in your pantries, you want to make sure that you are pulling things with short expiration dates to the front so you can use them faster than the items that have longer expirations of the same thing. You want to put that behind so you can get rid of the things that are about to expire quicker. That way you're not wasting money by letting those items expire. Say, for instance, a generic brand of acetaminophen expires in June and you still have a half a bottle and you just didn't have the extra, and you know that you'll have a little extra when your income tax finally gets here or whatever it is you're going to get in July or August. Well, and you know you only take it very rarely, then that medication, that over the counter, as long as it is in a cool, dry, you know, kind of a dark place or whatever in a cabinet and not in direct light and what have you, that's helping to degrade the tablets or the capsules or whatever, then it will last another 6 months. Even if you had to push it for a year, you could take, instead of taking 2, you can take 3 because they may be at half life. So do you. I'm just saying. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm just giving you an idea. Don't forget, like I said, people who have migraines or who suffer from migraines quite often, their over-the-counter medication of choice is Excedrin. That's a brand name. What's in Excedrin? It contains acetaminophen, aspirin, and caffeine. Two out of those components I know for a fact that most of the generic drug suppliers who package or who manufacture those gets those components from overseas, and most times it comes from China. So a lot of things folks aren't considering. Folks, I want you to be smart about what moves you're making. I want you to be informed, and that's why I'm coming on this evening to let you know certain things. Please do me a favor, do yourself a favor. Become more involved, If you have to look at a broadcast once a week or something, try to stay abreast. Don't dumb down. Don't check out completely from the world and not know what in the hell is going on and be oblivious to stuff. Please try to stay informed. Now is not the time to check out. I know that we have to take a break, yes, but at least look at a couple videos, a couple podcasts, listen to on the way to work once a week or whatever it is you need to do to stay informed about things, because things are happening so fast. Also, as a reminder, May the 7th is the deadline date for the real ID. May 7th is the deadline date for the real ID. You can get a real ID at your nearest driver services or your Office of Motor Vehicles. Make certain that you go to those counties and or state websites, and they will have all of the information that you will need, the valid information, proof of what you need. Please make sure that you're not taking time out of your busy schedule or your day and go over there to those offices without the proper things that they ask you to bring in. You will not be able to fly domestically without a real ID, whether it be a real ID in the form of an identification card or the real ID in the form of a valid driver's license. Now, as an alternative, if you decide I'm not going to worry about it right now, I have my passport and it is valid, you can fly domestically and internationally with your valid passport. However, make sure that the license you hold has not expired. Okay? That's all I have for you. Thank you for tuning in. You have been listening to Saving Money Unapologetically with your host, PG, that is me. Have a great rest of your evening. Please stay tuned. Please stay aware of what is going on in your town and your state and what may affect you in the future or the very near future or in long term. Please do yourself a favor. Do what it is that you feel is necessary to protect and try to safeguard you and or your family and or family members. Bye now.